This is BAWLER. Hello, I have prepared an important and interesting video for you. Subscribe and write in the comments what you think about it. Russia was once seen as a naval powerhouse, boasting a fleet of 419 ships and submarines with a combined tonnage exceeding 1.26 million. This should have made it the third most powerful navy in the world, strong enough for President Vladimir Putin to use it decisively against Ukraine while still signaling dominance to global rivals. But that projection of strength has collapsed under scrutiny. In reality, the Russian Navy is a mere shadow of what it claims to be. Its image as a formidable force is undermined by outdated ships, disorganized strategies, and crumbling capabilities. While Russia still holds some missile and submarine strength, its surface fleet has been severely reduced, exposing how much weaker Putin's maritime might really is. The most glaring symbol of this decline is Russia's sole aircraft carrier, the Admiral Kuznetsov. Reports from the Economic Times suggest that this aging vessel is on the brink of being scrapped. Once envisioned as the pride of the Russian Navy, capable of displacing 58,600 tons and sailing 8,500 nautical miles at speeds of 18 miles per hour, the ship now faces decommissioning. On paper, the Admiral Kuznetsov looked impressive. It could carry dozens of fighter jets and helicopters, including Yak-41Ms, Su-27Ks, and Kamov helicopters. But the ship never lived up to expectations. Decades of operational failures, ranging from frequent fires and mechanical breakdowns to constant maintenance needs, have made it a liability rather than an asset. The ship's inefficient mazout-fueled engines emitted massive black plumes and required endless servicing. Despite its range, the carrier could only function for 45 days at a time and was repeatedly towed back to port by tugboats. Russia knew about these flaws and began a full overhaul in 2017 to salvage the vessel. However, the effort quickly turned into a disaster. Fires, a collapsed crane, delays, and rampant corruption all derailed progress. Originally scheduled to return to service in 2022, the ship never made it back. One Russian newspaper now reports that all work has been suspended as officials debate whether to continue pouring money into this money pit or finally scrap it. According to Admiral Sergei Avakian, the former head of the Pacific Fleet, retiring the Kuznetsov is the only sensible option. He stated that the future of naval warfare lies with unmanned systems, not with outdated behemoths from a past era. The potential scrapping of the Kuznetsov is a massive blow to Putin's prestige. While the US and China operate multiple carriers, Russia is left with none. However, this isn't just about one ship. The Kuznetsov's demise represents broader structural failures within Russia's navy. The problems stretch far beyond one vessel. Russia's inability to maintain or repair its fleet is widespread. A January report from Defense Express revealed that Russia has halted all military vessel repairs in Crimea, fearing Ukrainian strikes on ships sitting vulnerable in dry docks. Ukraine has demonstrated that using Crimea's naval facilities is now a dangerous gamble. Attacks on the Cyclone missile ship, a submarine, and the MRK Askold in Kerch have shown that no ship is safe in occupied Crimea. While alternative repair facilities exist in Novorossiysk, they pale in comparison to those in Crimea. Ukraine's successful strikes have essentially removed Russia's ability to refurbish its Black Sea fleet. And because Russia illegally annexed Crimea, it never developed sufficient infrastructure elsewhere. The country lacks enough facilities to handle ship maintenance, and overcrowding worsens the problem. Sanctions have further crippled Russia's military logistics. Parts and components for repairs are harder to obtain, and those that are available come at inflated prices. With economic pressure mounting, Russia has had to divert resources to drones and ground vehicles that offer more immediate tactical value. As a result, ship maintenance has fallen by the wayside. The Black Sea, once central to Putin's military plans, is no longer the secure staging area it was. At the outset of the full-scale invasion, Russia used the Black Sea Fleet to move forces from Crimea into Ukraine and launch missile strikes. That dominance didn't last. Ukraine has turned the tide using missiles and sea drones, inflicting massive losses. At least 26 Russian vessels have been damaged or destroyed, nearly a third of the fleet. What's most striking is that Ukraine achieved this despite lacking a true navy. With just 89 small patrol ships, it neutralized a far larger force. By spring 2024, the UK's Ministry of Defense declared the Russian fleet functionally inactive. Russia was forced to retreat its ships from the Black Sea to safer waters, making them strategically useless. The implications are humiliating for the Kremlin. The Atlantic Council described Russia's retreat as a blow to Putin's threats of escalation. Ukraine is winning at sea with minimal naval resources. And there's another layer to the Black Sea debacle: economic vulnerability. The sea serves as a key route for Russian oil and gas exports. Ukraine's attacks now jeopardize that too. To make matters worse, Turkey has blocked warships from entering the Black Sea under the 1936 Montreux Convention. Ukraine has no warships to send, but Russia now can't reinforce its fleet. This effectively locks Russia out of its own naval backyard. All of this, the loss of its only aircraft carrier, the inability to repair ships, and the Black Sea withdrawal, is part of a much deeper problem. Even before the Ukraine war, Russia's naval strength was in decline. Despite being ranked the third most powerful navy by tonnage, many of its vessels are aging relics. The Kirov-class battlecruisers are over 40 years old, with one stuck in modernization limbo for 6 years. Meanwhile, the Kuznetsov is not only broken, it's obsolete. Russia doesn't even have the specialists needed to operate it anymore. With the carrier docked for so long, training has stalled and crews have forgotten how to use it. Russia's shipbuilding sector is in disarray. The idea of replacing its aging fleet is implausible. Although Putin announced a nearly $100 billion plan to revitalize the Navy through 2050, it offers little help now. Given the economic situation, there's no guarantee that this plan will ever be completed. Putin himself might be gone long before it sees results. Then there's the port issue. Russia has only 7 ice-free ports, and 3 of them are in or near Crimea. Its geography, spanning 11 time zones, should offer strategic advantage, but the harsh climate cancels that out. Many ports freeze over during winter, forcing Russia to rely on nuclear icebreakers, which are impractical for rapid military deployment. In total, Russia's navy is being suffocated by multiple factors: decommissioned carriers, unrepairable ships, outdated vessels, limited construction capacity, port limitations, and sanctions. The entire system is crumbling. Even worse, Ukraine is now targeting Russia's shadow fleet, the clandestine vessels used to evade sanctions and keep oil revenues flowing. Putin reportedly spent over $10 billion to assemble that fleet, but now it too is under threat. With that source of income at risk, Russia's hopes for naval renewal grow even dimmer. All of this leads to one inevitable conclusion: the Russian Navy is spiraling into the abyss. What was once considered a global maritime power is now exposed as a paper tiger, beaten not by a superior navy, but by a much smaller adversary with ingenuity, drones, and determination.